All right. Good morning. Let's see here. There we go. All right. So I forget exactly where the stream ended. I know we had started the demolition, the demolition of NextJS. I think I did a little bit after the stream too. I don't remember exactly. Right, so we got some stuff. I don't know if at the end of the stream I got this working, but it's working now. We have an Express server. Yeah, that's still broken. Do I still have a tab that has? So let's go to localhost 3000. So yeah, nothing there. We did get something set up with. Got ourselves a health check-in point, and we have. Let's see. So we have an Express server now. Let me turn that music down a little bit more. Not too loud. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that'll be good. Right, and we have this tRPC playground that we could do some stuff with. Yeah, I think we did that on stream last time. Oh, here we go. There's a query builder. How handy. Meals.list. Yeah, there you go. And we're unauthorized, of course, because we don't have any kind of authentication set up yet. So that'll be something to figure out. But yeah, so putting that aside, let's see, coming back here. So there's basically two things we need to do, right? Broadly, because Next.js was both really tied into kind of our front end routing of, here are pages that are hooking things up to our React components. Right, so we have these pages. And then I think I just deleted the folder, didn't I? For the actual, right? Because all of these are React components, but then we had a pages folder for the Next.js stuff, and I deleted that just to stop a lot of the TypeScript errors so we could make progress. So we'll have to kind of reconstruct those using, I guess we'll just use like React Router. Make a just the SPA. So anyway, so those are details. But broadly, front end and back end, right? So last time we made some progress on having a backend using Express and basically being able to use the API. Now, for us to do authentication, so I think we kind of get started on that, providing an auth route. And we have this Express utils file that's providing, right. So maybe this is something I did. I forget when I did this, but anyway, so basically we have a couple of wrappers because the way auth.js, which is the seems like the next new version of the thing that we were using before that was Next.js specific, auth.js, it seems like we'll be able to use without needing Next or any of these things. And it can, we'll not have to change everything right away. Maybe we'll see. But to kind of hook that up So we have this auth object we're getting from at auth/core, and we're getting our auth options as we were before, and we're able to essentially hand the requests from Express directly into auth. And the thing we had to add was kind of a wrapper to take the request from Express and convert it into the kind of request that auth wants, which is this is a fetch API interface. Apparently, it's not really been fully tested. I think I tried. Yeah, so if we go here, the route works. Ish. But I think the next step is probably to start working on the front end so that we can have a UI again, and to look at kind of tying it all together, right? Yeah, I see I have a note here about serving. So Vite is something that I've used once. In fact, if you saw the start of the stream, that screen that I use at the start of the stream and during the break and end, that is actually a little website that I have OBS show, and that's running inside of Vite as well. So Vite is like a hold on. Why explain something when I can just pull up the website? So it's like Create React app, that sort of thing. It seems a bit less I've not fully explored it, and of course I've made a few apps over the years with Create React app, and basically one little one with Vite. So, but it seems like it's a little less complicated once you start digging into it, maybe. I could be completely wrong. That's just a first impression. But anyway, so I think the idea here, apparently a while ago I had a sense of, switching to using this. We could serve the front end directly from Express, at least in like a local dev environment. So that's an option. I guess that's fine for now. We can change our mind later. Yeah, because at some point we will switch back to using Docker Compose locally, so that we can like run the database and stuff. Do I want to do that? Maybe I don't want to do that for dev. I don't know. Let's not worry about it too much. We don't even need to worry about this yet because we haven't set up Vite. Can I? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so this is us messing around with just going to /auth, and there's nothing there. If we go to sign in, cannot detect action in path name. Okay. So there's some stuff that we still need to do here, apparently. But that's a problem for the future. What I want to do right now is set up a Vite app. And so what we can do, can I, okay, we can do npm create. Interesting. Vite at latest. We'll call it client. I think that makes sense, right? We have a server folder and we'll have a client folder, and we'll probably like migrate things eventually. And template can be React TS. This one here. What is React SWC? What is what is SWC again? Speedy Web Compiler. So what is this React SWC TS? Let's try it. I feel like, oh, lost the history, and it's very hard to tell what's going on with, let's do that. npm create Vite at latest, call the folder client, and template is going to be this one. I feel like SWC was something that was being used with Next.js. I feel like I saw a couple of things in the config about that, so I'm hoping that this is not something that's going to break things for us. Yeah, sure. I feel, oh, I see. There we go. They show that in the example too, but I was not paying attention. cd client, npm install. So, think about this for a second. So right now we have one package.json at the top level. I think yeah, okay. It'll be fine. Thinking about the consequences of that, maybe we'll end up in a situation where we have several sub-packages, one for front end and one for back end. Anyway, one thing at a time. We'll just deal with one thing at a time. Okay, and then it told us what to do next. And we lost that text because reasons. But presumably, okay, we got dev and we have builds. npm run dev. Ta-da! All right. That's only the beginning. So now we need to put back together our application. Okay, let's go maybe like this. So what does this start us off with? Let's check out what this is generated for us. So we have a Vite config. Configured to run on using parser options.project. Interesting. We have a TS config here. Okay. Is this okay? We'll just ignore the error in the Vite config. It seems to work, so. So we have a main.tsx here that gets our root element and renders in strict mode. Our app. We have an index.css. We have there should be a index.html. Which pulls in main.tsx and has a root div. And then we have a title and some other stuff. So does... Okay, so we're pulling index.css from there. Let's get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this file. Yeah. And we'll get rid of app.css as well. And we'll get rid of this import. We'll get rid of all the logos. We'll get rid of basically everything. Not gonna need that use state either. There we go. So, where to go from here? So I think let's just start breaking things. So components can go inside of client src. Take a minute for VS Code to think. Also, I noticed that we're not quite... There we go. That's better. We have this globals.css. Were we actually using this? Let's go look at the original source here. Are we using... Well, I don't know what that message said because clicking random keys while the dialog comes up makes the dialog go away. Let's just open a new terminal over here. So we were importing in pages_app. Somewhere here. Oh, is this on main? Let's make sure we're on main. There we go. Okay. So, components. We want to move into client src. There we go. That was much faster. I'm just going to rename this to index.css and move this into src. And then we don't need this folder anymore. Goodbye. Store also needs to be inside of client src. Maybe VS Code will cooperate with us. Okay, nope. Cool. We have these util things, and I'm not sure which ones are front end and which ones are back end, or both. And there may be things that are both, and we'll have to just cross that bridge when we get to it. I feel like I don't know if I've said that phrase a number of times so far just today, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Client SOC. So the external APIs, infrastructure, public. Okay, we can get rid of the Vite icon. And maybe this will work. Can we put those things in? Okay, that works. And we'll delete public. Alright, so there will be more to do, but this gets us closer. And then so I'm looking on the right side here at what we had before, kind of in our top level thing, top level page, kind of our wrapper. I don't think there's any reason why we can't pretty much just use this the way it is. So why did we have... Okay, so we had Redux app. Maybe that should have been... Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we had that like that, so we would be able to then pull things out of Redux within that component. So the thing I'm thinking about right now is that we need to bring all of this over, but we are also going to need to add a router to this as well, so that, you know, when you go to different pages based on like the URL, right, you get a different view. Which was something previously handled by NextJS, and kind of the pages folder that we deleted last stream kind of handled for us in a couple different ways. It did a bunch of stuff, right? In terms of like compiling like static pages for things and all sorts of stuff that we don't really necessarily need anyway. Like ultimately, the router... So in Next.js land, let's start there. In Next.js land, this app essentially gets constructed for each page. And so page props and component, Next.js has those. It gives them to us, and then we like build this component tree for rendering per page, where instead I think what we're going to end up doing is something where this is only going to, you could conceptually think of this as all of this only happens once, and then we'll have the router inside where component is here. So what is session provider? Session provider is coming from a thing that we're not using anymore. Does this need to be outside of the Redux store provider? Because if not, what we could do would be something like, let's imagine here we have a function. Nope, it's not what I'm trying to do for Copilot. What am I trying to do? I know what I'm trying to do, which is I'm going to make a function that's going to take app and wrap it in the Redux provider. And so we'll just have that as the highest level thing. And then everything else can go inside of app. But I'm trying to think of what I want to call this function. Create a wrapper function for app that uses Redux's provider. Function. It just wants to call it app wrapper. I'm not satisfied with that name. It doesn't have any alternatives. Maybe I'll do this the other way around, and we'll call this. Wait, what is the nomenclature I use normally? Because I've done this many times, right? Oh yeah, there's not a lot in pages. It's diary. Consumption. Oh yeah, connected is the word. Except we're going to use the provider. Provider or provider. Now, okay, yeah, that's fine. So hey, now we have we have a something. We have an error. cannot import utils tRPC, right? Because our store has a bunch of stuff in there. Now, is utils tRPC? No, thank you, Windows. Used. Oops, I failed to copy. It's only used in the client. Okay, so let's. At least for now, if the thing is only being used in the client, I'm just going to utils, the place for things that don't have a better category. All right, and we'll. Okay. Client SR. Okay. I was wondering how that because it tried to auto rename, right? The path. So I could do ... /... I don't really want to though, and we fixed this elsewhere. Maybe we can do the same thing here. Is it imports? Now, what did we do in the other package JSON? It is imports. Like that. And so we could do utils like this. We'll see if this works. No trailing commas in JSON and types. Now I think we may end up in a situation. I'm just going to grab types here. Oh, maybe not. Now we end up in the situation where now we're going to refer to things that exist at the server. And that's going to cause us problems. What are we going to do about that? One choice could be to try to lift up all the config to the top level and just have one package. A thing I've done in the past is have multiple packages in the repo. And previously I would have used something like Lerna. I've not really had a lot of practice at doing that kind of setup. I think that's possible to do without something like Lerna these days. But I guess we're really going to need to. If we want to actually type things, which we do. Okay, so I know that we're definitely going to need to move types. Is this true? I think this is true. I think all of these types are really used by the front end to right, because the back end is just using Zod. The types are convenient ways for us to take the types from Zod and export types. Well, in that case, maybe they should live in server too. right? And then be exported. Or have a third package for kind of the common bits. Then we try to avoid, like, we don't import anything between server and client directly. Anything common can go into common. And how does that work? Workspaces is a generic term that refers to a set of features in the NPM CLI that provides support for managing multiple packages from a local file system within a singular top-level root package. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to create a folder called common. And I'm going to create a package.json here. And oops, one too many. There we go. And then what we're going to do is in the top level package.json, I will eventually probably make a separate package for server and like move things around. But just for right now, we'll do workspaces. And we'll do client and common. We'll have to come back for server later. I think this will be good. Once running npm install in this current working directory is the folder A will get symlinked. Okay, it's possible to directly add, remove, update dependencies of your workspaces. Okay. Is this going to do... Okay. So, we're going to move types into common. And then we're also going to move validators from server. Yeah. Into common. And then I guess we're going to move server types as well into types. Just break all the things. And I'm not going to worry about what I've broken in server yet. We're just going to focus on making sure things work here. So we can do, I think for this package, because it's going to be pretty shallow, I'm not going to worry too much about relative paths for things. I'm just going to live with it. All right, now we have a new thing. So this units folder, I think, will also move into common. There we go. Oops. There we go. I guess common needs to depend on Zod. There we go. Just work through all the errors. I feel like maybe there's some hope here. I guess we're going to need to. All right. How's this going to work? How is this going to work, right? So we have in the server, we have this, right? And this is effectively, we're arriving at this type by looking at the types of all the procedures. So to really get this type, we have to have access to the procedures, which is most of what the server is. I guess. So, if I were to leave this here, but pursue kind of this approach that I've been taking thus far, what would that look like? Well, I would need to import this into my common package to re-export for the front end to be able to use. But the issue would be, so common would have a dependency on server, but there are things in common that are needed inside of server. I guess the hope would be they're not the same. I don't know if that's going to cause it. I don't know if a circular dependency in that way is going to cause a problem. I'm not thrilled about the idea, though. Another option would be we'll make another package to put our procedures in. And then that can be imported both by server and common. honestly, probably what I would do would be to make that procedures package, and I would put this tRPC.ts in it. Yeah, and then front end, client rather, and server would both be dependent on it. I think that is not awful. At the end of the day, like right now, all we're really doing is just moving folders around. I guess we'll need routes and app router. Router from tRPC. Right. Just thinking about kind of the what is the scope of what would need to be pulled out. Because, so we need this public procedure. Like this whole file would have to come along with it. And this is then a lot of like, it's beyond just the procedures then. It's a lot of like the session stuff and various things. And this is pulling in context. So then we're gonna, you know, yeah, that's not gonna, I don't like that. I guess we can take tRPC, this file, and move it back to server. Are other things dependent on this file? I don't think so. No. Oh, here's something I hadn't fixed yet. Units. Okay. The types here are for the front end. Yeah, okay. I don't think that's really... It's maybe sort of true, but yeah. Okay, so I think... Oh, there's nothing in there. Okay, so this tRPC file goes back into types. And I guess we're gonna make another package out of server. We're just gonna break all the I mean, we've already broken all the things, but we're gonna continue to, we're gonna break it more. Yeah. Let's close some of these files. So can we... That's fine. Or is it? SRC types, SRC utils, tRPC. This is definitely front end specific. But what we're gonna say is we're gonna say server/router/_app, and then in here, I'm gonna append on server. No, I think that's not necessary to do with the way NPM Workspaces works. If I'm understanding this correctly, we just need to here server. Maybe. What happens if I run npm install? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's not complaining anymore. So that's good. Oh, I see. Invalid string or undefined if template literal and expression. Alright. So a bunch of this stuff can go away. There's never going to be a versatile URL. We weren't even using context. Alright, so server utils tRPC? Wait, where is this? Where is base tRPC coming from? Client SOC. Okay, it is utils. No, not server utils. Utils tRPC. Shouldn't that be there? Yeah. Data R package.json, not. Utils. SOC utils. What's the problem? Okay, more of this. Types. Oh, that's in server. And this is in common. Is it complaining about innies? Is that where we're at? Unsafe return of an any typed value. Well, okay, that is something we had not been treating as an error. So let's oh, this is ESLint. Okay, so let's don't need to change that. Do we have an ESLint? There we go. Rules. I suspect that's not actually the rule. Oh, I suppose I could actually just look at the error message because it's going to tell me. Unsafe member access.diary on an any value. Why is base tRPC any? We're importing from the right file, right? Can we see .ts? Apparently we can, and that works too. doesn't look like any to me. Unsafe return of any type value. No, yeah, sure, but it's not. Okay, well that isn't any. So we have all this information. Can we do... No, that doesn't work. I tried that before. Unsafe member access dot die without any value. So why does it think base tRPC? Okay, well, at least the imports are not erroring. Are all the errors here just the same thing? Yeah. So somehow we are losing... I mean, Arg is any. Okay. Let's change these to warnings. Oh, I failed to copy the right thing. 1 second. Let's get rid of that file. I think warn should be okay. Unsafe assignment was the other one, which was the one that Copilot suggested. Yeah, okay. All right, less red. No unsafe call. It's all the unsafe things, please. And what's going on here? Promises must be awaited. Really? Okay, if it'll make you happier. I guess we didn't have any actions. No, we only had extra reducers. Okay, so that's... I have to figure out some of that at some point, but you know, let's try to keep on making progress. So, back to app.tsx, where we've not made a lot of progress. I think really a lot of this could just be brought back. That goes away. That goes there. That was already there. We're going to use tRPC. So utils / tRPC .ts. A layout is going to be in components. Is that a thing? .tsx. I'll just do that. So, interesting. So I had been kind of confused about why in some circumstances it was wanting me to have a file extension. But is this just because I'm using this import thingy? Is that why? Huh. Okay, well anyway. And then session provider goes away, or is something else? I don't think that. I don't know if that exists. Let's. So auth core exists. Next auth packages, core, and frameworks. So the session provider thing. Yeah, wrong kind of provider. Let's search. So next auth SRC React. I didn't actually want to click that, thanks. I'm not supposed that exists. No. SRC lib. Utils, providers, web, and then index. Email OAuth pages. It is experimental. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it off. Also, that stuff goes away. Here that we can use, and we have a use effect. Promises must be awaited. Why do you think that? Oh. Okay. And then a thing we don't have right now is a thing coming in telling us that this is authenticated or not, which presumably is something we would have in a session provider. So we're just going to say unauthenticated and as a prop on app. True. Let's try something here. What does Copilot do with this error? Thinks for a bit. And it defines, okay, an app props interface. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, okay. All right. And then we don't need any of this anymore. And okay. We're also going to wrap connected app with tRPC. And then finally, in this as well, we're going to grab the theme mode. Okay. And then we're going to return all this. Except this is just going to be hello world. Of course, we don't have a head component, but that's fine. We don't need that. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to index.html and we're going to swap that out. And for title, we'll just say Daily Jewel. All right. Lots of warnings about things. Really, this should be dark or light. A few less warnings about things. Fast refresh only works when a file only exports components. Move your components to a separate file. What does it mean? When a file only exports components. Fast refresh can't handle anonymous components. Add a name to your export. Okay. I guess we could Like, we don't have to do this here. We could do this in main. I don't know if that would matter. Okay. Const tRPC app connected app equals that. Export that. Okay, anyway. So missing this thing. All right, some more pathing issues. I guess this is just utils. But if we do it this way, then we have to say .ts. This should be in common. Like that. So this tempts me to, instead of using that import and package.json, to just have another package with things in it. So to save me typing a couple of extra characters, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so we'll make our new strict async arrow function has no await expression. It's fair. We're just returning the promise anyway, so it doesn't matter. Unsafe argument of type any assigned to a parameter of type concat array, yada 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 yada. Which one of those is the error? Probably no unsafe argument or no unsafe member access. Okay, ESLint. Member access. Okay, argument is the okay. All right, more things. That's good. Oh, it's right there. Let's see. Utils.ts common types. Okay. Are we gonna get to a page again anytime soon? Failed to resolve import. Does the file exist? All right, so we have a bunch of places where we're using this syntax. Oh boy. I have an idea. We could take components and make another package. That would mean any component path references in that package could be replaced with no, I guess still not. Trying to think of how I can avoid one, relative paths, and two, not having to add .tsx to the end of every single one of those imports. Okay, I think I have an idea. So, oh yeah, we already know that that's going to be not problematic to try to move components inside of the file listing there. So let's see, client associate components just move to the top level. And then in package.json, we'll have a components package. We will copy package.json from here into our new components package, which definitely does not need ZOD as a dependency. And then what we can do is replace every place where we're referring to ~components. We can replace that with components. Should be fine. All right, app.tsx. Now we have a place where we're referring to this. Some stuff, yeah, Storybook is going to be broken. But now we can change this to this. Oh, and we probably need to run npm install again. To link things up. And Vite is reloading. What else is broken? I might restart the Vite dev server. I guess I could try. Let's stop and refresh. There we go. Cannot find. Oh, it's broken. Okay. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's see. So in layout, now that we can import that. Layout. Yeah, that's nice. Session. And in fact, all references to next must go. Just fake it, stub it out. And status, status equals unauthenticated, we'll say. All right, failed to import, so we have more references. Yes, so now it's packages all the way down, right? Because now we've moved the components to a package, but we're referring to things in the store. So guess what needs to also be a package to make all that work? The store. Or it could go into common. But common is probably just like I think I said a while ago, earlier in the stream, utils is the bucket that you put stuff in where you don't have a better name for. It's all the miscellaneous things that you haven't had time to come up with a better way of organizing things for. It's a sign. Yeah, anyway. So, common is probably in that same boat. So we'll make a folder called, no we won't. We'll move store, because at least the stuff in store shouldn't depend on anything other than like things that are in common, or there is an end to this. this process, and I think we'll end up in a good place. right? So it's all these different slices, right? So the issue is the slices are dependent on some things. Oh, yeah. Base tRPC. But that's the only thing utils. Maybe we put utils, like, what uses base tRPC? It's only stuff in slices, right? Yes. So let's move utils into slices, into store, which is kind of weird. Okay. And then, just like components, got a package.json. Store. All right, we haven't moved it yet. Store is going to get moved to the top level, hopefully. Oh, was that a mistake? Why does it take so long to move like 6 files? Client src store. Which now, I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm pretty sure this is like, this shit looks very similar to where we started out. And then, you know, then I moved all the stuff inside the client because it was client, and then we're moving it out to make it so that the imports work nicer. But there you go. It's an incremental process here. And then we run npm install again. And then app.tsx is now broken because it's referring to store here. Yeah, all that's gonna be, just ignore the storybook stuff. That's gonna be broken. Import store from store. Import tRPC from store utils tRPC. Store slice settings. Guess all those things can live together. All right, more. Okay, so now, similar to what we did with components, we can rewrite all of the imports for store to just be store. All right, so now we get into some of the utils. So intersection observer is used by the components. Let's get to that file. Is it going to be used by anything other than the components? And should it be... I guess it can... I mean, really, maybe we can take all this stuff and put it inside a common. Did that rewrite a bunch of things to be... Okay, good, just that one. Copy. So I guess all of these things... Well, not this. This is wrong. This should be store utils tRPC. Apparently. Same thing here. But then I think the rest of these can be rewritten to be common utils, and that is common. I do like find and replace. Common units. Alright, can I import assets barcode SVG? Yes, indeed. So we have this assets folder, and we have this assets folder. Oops. There we go. Don't need that SVG file. I guess really, so this file and this file can go into assets here. No. I mean, I think, so barcode.svg is only used by that one component. So there's that. And then we have another place that's using, let's just search for all the places that are still using the tilde syntax. Start at TSX. A few places. Exclude star.stories.tsx. I don't care about the mocks. In fact, let's close all of the tabs. There we go. So I'm gonna guess that we can just replace all of that with common, and we'll see what that leaves in terms of broken stuff. All right, so we got site navigation. Okay, so const sign in equals interesting. Alert. There we go. Now can it in? Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Copilot. Although now the type is wrong. I should have let it do its thing. What was the undefined here supposed to represent? I don't know. And honestly, I don't know that it matters. Let's pretend. I mean, whatever the API is that we're going to end up using, it'll be what it is. There. All right, failed to resolve import pound units /index. Right, number format. So, where are these things? Units index. There we go. Is this success? Is this what success looks like? A blank page? There should be a thing that says hello world. So we have a div. Ambiguous indirect export default and light theme. What does it mean? Export default create theme. I've never seen such an error. All right, well, for starters, this might be a problem. Let's temporarily get rid of our special custom fonts. We'll probably have to pursue something else. Process is not, well, it's different. It's a different error. Although right, so somewhere we're okay, where are we using next? We should probably pursue all the places we're using next and removing them. Yes, indeed. Okay, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to import link from atoms link. Yep. Fix that using Copilot. I dare ya. Can it say make a new file? Nope. All right. So rather than just like changing the code here, I would rather just make a component, which might ultimately, well, it'll probably be like a thing that uses React router DOM. Export default function link. Yeah. Let's see here. So we'll start with. Let's start with props. I guess we want to do children props, and we just want to do something like this for starters. Link props, interface link props. Does that make that happy? Good. Where else were we importing? Okay. Import link. There you go. And use router. Yep, just a step one. For now, we'll go back and add React router. Not dealing with any of the Storybook stuff yet. I think. Okay, I'm gonna add another atom for image. Import image from atoms image. And if I would have, done this in the first place rather than directly invoking the Next.js components, then this would be one last thing to do now. But export default function image props. Image props. Return. Sure. Interface. That's cute. Hold on. Excellent. Okay. All right. Other places referring to next. We got another use of use router. We'll stub that out again. Come on, Copilot. Oh, no, okay. If I do this, there you go. Next page. Oh, I see. All right. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Props. There you go. I'll replace all the places we're referring to next. Yep, there you go. And then here, it's interesting. I think first of all, I want to just add some of that to this page. We already have that, and we already have that. So really, we would just be doing this part. And at least for right now, I don't really have a way of doing that set up. Maybe Vite has. Guide. Probably not. Okay, anyway. Hey, look, there's a hello world. Return the null. Cool. We did it. There is the app again. And oh boy, none of our fonts. But yeah, hello world. Okay. Well, it's been about an hour and a half now. Just about halfway through the stream. So I'm going to take a quick break, stretch my legs, and top off my water and all that stuff. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll finish the rest of the owl. Keep on chipping away at this. All right, be back in just a few. And I'm back. All right. All right, a lot to do. I should, I'm gonna leave it to do. In all the places where I've commented things out to just get them to work. And like this. In fact, I bet if I just search for used router, that would be a good start. Yep, and there we go. There were probably other things too, but I'm just not thinking about those things right now. All right, so what's next? Oh yeah, so we could definitely to do yeah, I don't want to remove that. Thanks, Copilot, but we need to address this at some point. Presumably we'll have something that can tell us whether or not we're authenticated in this, but we don't have that right now. We have lots of files changed. Let's take a look at it, kind of an overview of where we're at here, right? So we got client, common, components, server, store, nothing utils. All right, that goes away again. I guess in the package JSON, we can get rid of next. Middleware. That goes away. Bye-bye. Next config goes away. Next env goes away. Our README has a bunch of information in it about NextJS. That all goes away. I guess Vite can be mentioned there. Good. Let's just add a date. That goes away. Again, the Storybook stuff will have to be updated, but I'm not going to be focusing on that right now. Oh yeah, here's another thing that needs to be fixed to do. Get our fonts back. Figure out how to do that. Alright, we can get rid of that comment now. Get rid of that import. And the environment variables there will probably change. tRPC, that's fine. Create tRPC next is the wrong thing. What is the right thing? tRPC. Setting up the client. Create tRPC proxy client. That's what we're doing here. So what is tRPC proxy client versus create tRPC next? Okay, so I think can we just do this? Now let's look for store utils tRPC package, but just look for utils. That we oh, here we go. Another thing we can remove. Let's do this from the command line. rm.next all. Bye. Alright, so now we're just going to have that default export to import. So there's no use query. Okay, so that's the difference. With React. So this is the bit that we're missing. Okay, so this is... I think that's still... Store utils. So we're gonna undo. I still like the idea of doing a default export. Oops. Default. I can type, I swear. Set up. Okay. App router. It's just the same options. I did not mean that. From React. Query. No. What is React query? Okay. Do I have that in the store package JSON? No, this doesn't have any dependencies. We'll fix that. How about the actual version? go. Right, so I'm guessing this does not have a with tRPC thingamajig. Or we're not importing the right thing. Import tRPC from this. Perhaps because we've not saved. tRPC provider. Create client. You use context. You use queries. Okay. So the docs here suggest that we tRPC provider, client, tRPC client, client query, query client, query client. Okay, yeah, fair. Okay, did we... Oh yeah, Moxer. Oh, interesting. Okay, that seems to work now. But what we need to do here is we need to do the thing they show here. And I think that needs to happen outside of provider. I think that'll make sense to do there anyway. It's interesting. tRPC client is what we're getting from create client. So that would be this thing, which we can just give it whatever name we want. So there you go. And then query client is coming from here. And tRPC, wait. Oh, I see. Do I see? So create tRPC React. Okay, I think maybe I'll just, for now, reproduce what they have here. tRPC, and then use state. Yeah, create client does exist. And then just provide the same options. Oh no, I don't like that. Huh. Create client. Ops. Create client options. Okay. That's something. Can we... Okay, and then tRPC client is just this, but then provider doesn't exist on that. Okay, so what we'll do instead is we'll say const tRPC React equals this. Export default tRPC React.create client. Missing a space there. Export const provider equals that. Then I don't want this. Provider. What's the matter? Declared, but its value is never read. But there. Also, we can. What package are we in? Client package.json. Oh yeah, this can go away as well. And story utils tRPC. That's this. We export provider. Look, how about we just call it this? App router? Why is everything not... Probably because package versions don't agree is my first guess. Right, so we're importing this app router type from servers routers underscore app. And we're trying to set this up. And now the store, store package.json versus server package.json. Versus, oh yeah, like top level package JSON. tRPC, client and server, tRPC 10.12. And what if I, are these on the same versions? So there's React query. That should be in something. Client package? Probably. There you go. Store. I think I want to not have that in there. And then tRPC client should live inside of here. tRPC server should live in server, you would think. It is a lot. So I think I don't want the React query stuff in here. Which means this is all going to go away. I think what I'll do is I'll export app router. Like that. That's how you do that. And I also want to have kind of just these export const tRPC options equals this. tRPC options. Now let's try npm install again. Okay, so and then an app, I'm going to make this much more similar to what's being shown in the setup example. Yeah. And we'll be able to pass in tRPC options. Can't find name tRPC. So we don't need that imported. I guess in the front end. Yeah, I guess our client SRC is pretty empty now because the components are in a separate package and all that. I guess we'll create a file called trpc.ts here that this stuff will live in. And we'll import type app router from store. Okay. Now, what version were those other package JSONs using? Store? I don't know if the version numbers will align, but we'll try. Now, did I have this package listed anywhere else? Good. No. Alright, so now npm install again to provide that. And I guess we can just export defaults here. And then we want to import tRPC from tRPC. Pretty, you're still not happy. Oh, right. And I see. Okay, so then that goes away. That line goes away. We're getting closer. tRPC provider does not exist. Where's this supposed to be coming from? Oh, right. It's supposed to be tRPC.provider. And then this is supposed to be tRPC client. And some interesting warnings. Loading module was blocked because of... Okay. I might restart Vite at this point. Yes. Okay, error while updating dependencies. Okay, so something was referring to tRPC next. Oops. Anything? Interesting. Why? Do we have some cache stuff? Client. What's the error here? Cannot find name app router. Okay. Import type app router. Error while updating dependencies. That's interesting. H to show help. Clear console. H. Restart server. Oh. So why? Why? Daily Jewel node modules. Reveal in File Explorer. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete node modules. Probably want to stop the server. Alright, it's calculating. We'll just do a node install again. So at this point, I'm thinking that this is probably going to be at least a couple. I mean, I think some good progress has been made in terms of like just like figuring out structure and stuff. I think this is going to, like, the way the packages have been pulled out like this, I think is going to work okay. I don't know. Oh, right, we're in client. At the top level, let's do npm install. I don't know if this is going to. Maybe that's what the problem was before. Anyway, doesn't matter. How long is it going to take to get through everything? I don't know. I mean, we've not even added React Router and React Router DOM, that stuff, yet. I don't think that'll be a big deal to do, but then we just gotta like wire everything back together and then figure out like how are we gonna tie in maybe hopefully auth.js, maybe something else, I don't know. So it's probably gonna be a couple more streams. It's just to like get through, to get close to the functionality that we had before in terms of the app. So what's up with this? Why is it so desperately looking for tRPC next? Like, I don't have anything talking about that. Hey, look, there's troubleshooting. Dependency pre-bundling. Pre-bundles your project dependencies before loading your site locally. Yeah. And a monorepo setup. Yeah. That, I mean, I guess, yeah, there's a node modules here. Let's remove that. And then npm hold on, is there a .vite directory in? Okay. Let's run npm install at the top level. Make sure everything's good. And then in client, npm run dev. Hey, all right. Right, so now this has to go back. No. Right. Okay. So, what's going on with this? Well, wait. Oh, I see. Okay, so the component, there are components that want to use React query style tRPC queries, and previously we were able to get at the thing that would allow you to do that from story utils tRPC. It didn't make sense for it to be in that folder though, or in that file, store utils, because this is essentially how our thunks, our Redux thunks, are able to make tRPC requests or mutations. So it didn't make any sense for this file to export that. So that's why I'm exporting tRPC options. So instead, I moved that code into app. Well, sort of. I moved it into this tRPC file here. But the issue now is that we want to also use this. Yeah. And then an app. So one thing I could do is I could move this file into a more common place. I guess we could do that. Okay, and then we can just change this import to there. And then all of these imports, all two of them, can be like this. What's the error here? User settings, unknown, yada yada yada. Okay, I don't care about that. Return, override theme. Select override theme. Why? State implicitly has an any type is interesting. Right, because we no longer, I see. Right. So now we have to manage like all of the dependencies for the separate packages, right? So we originally had all of our dependencies in this file at the top level package JSON. That has changed now, so now we have to manage them here. Left arrow enough, I'll eventually get back to the file. Cannot find declaration. Do we not have types? Surely it has types. Redux. start TypeScript server. Maybe it's been confused by our moving all the dependencies around. Okay. Seems fine now. All right. We fixed this, right? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Server restarted. Hey, we have an app again. Yeah, so that doesn't work. That does nothing. We can do that though. All right. Oh boy, it's a lot. You know, this all the stuff that's been touched. I mean, mostly it's been, you know, we moved around a bunch of folders. Although, I guess technically we didn't. Like, components is still exactly where it left off. What's been changed, I guess, a lot of the change has just been getting rid of this thing. Which, that was a nice solution. But it seems to have some limits. Are we still using start.tsx? Let's see, how can I search for that? Maybe like that. Oh, it doesn't quite get everything, but just looking for places where we're importing. I guess this should just be, yeah, like that. So this should be common slash. Maybe it's easiest if I just search for that. Oh, a lot of those. There we go. There we go. Unit, probably a couple of those. And common validators. Yep. Oh, one too many slashes. Whoops. Common units. Now, is that in there? I guess so. All right. All right. Well, now are there any other places where we, I mean, besides server, where we're using that syntax? Probably there. Some of this might also be broken now too. But how about any of that? None of that. What about in aha? So interesting. I guess it's all in the stories, which I'm well, we'll have to address all the storybook stuff. I'm just not going to do it now. Yeah. So I think that's most of the import issues that have been caused by the reorg. So now we have a Vite client, which there's not a lot here, right? It's just an app file. I guess the next thing we can do, I can stop stalling, is add a router. Interesting. Let's see. React router. I'm new. Not. Hey, look. Hey, it's Vite. Anyway. Interesting. React router DOM, local forage, match, sorter, sort by. Why? Okay, well anyway. We can start by React router DOM, some version, and create browser router. Well, we'll just make a router file here. So we'll take that from found. No, React router DOM. And we'll say we could do that, but we can do export default, create browser router. Path slash element cute div hello world. Oh, I see what's missing here. This is supposed to be an array. And that's all we're going to do in this file. Oh, look at the little icon. Anyway. And then here, somewhere in here, probably inside of layout, we'll do copy and paste. Import router from router. And then we can do, nope. There we go. All right, so we should still have a hello world. Oh, interesting. Are those errors? Okay, great. So what pages did we have? Remember when there was an app? It had pages. So we had an index page. What is... I should look at the documentation to remember how things are supposed to work. But anyway, path, we'll have a BC calc. It's a nice guess, but it's settings, I think. Yeah. Right, because the Next.js paths are just like based on the name of the file, right? Settings, index, which is just that. And then we have things inside a diary. And then we have diary date. Just making kind of placeholders. So then we have date, and then we have, it was, except we explicitly say meal, and then the ID. And then this is essentially that index file there. And then we also have an edit. Edit. Nope. Nope. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. What on earth are you thinking, Copilot? And then path is diary user slug. And then it's just a, oh, and a date. Meal ID, oh, quick add. And then date, and then that, and then we have API, but those aren't front end pages. Except for when they are. Anyway. So yeah, so that kind of recreates the paths for the app. The other thing we can try out is, let's see, is it menu, navigation, site navigation? Is this where we've stubbed out? No. Okay, where is logged in being set? And layout? Okay, so now we can pretend to be authenticated. I'll go back to the app. Let me make this wider. Hot updated, but we're still not logged in. Oh, status, there we go. All right, also, okay, yeah. That'll silence that error if we don't pass in through the pass href. All right, so then we have this, and we can go to diary. Diary. We go to settings. Settings. It's a bit of a downgrade from before. We click log out. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, not implemented. Check. But in principle, you know, we can start hooking things up. I guess the other thing we can do, we can at least get the router stuff hooked back up, because we should be able to what were we using? Oh, we're using this to figure out the current path. That's why this isn't changing. Okay, so we can probably get this hooked back up, because there should be a hook for us. Okay, import use router from React router DOM. Does that exist? Okay. I guess we should look at the docs. Browser router. This is what we created. This is the recommended router. It uses DOM history API to update the URL and manage history stack. We also probably want to make some changes to our link. But anyway, path, and then it has children. Huh. Opt. Yep. Let's see, components. There's a link. Relative. Replace state. Link to. Interesting. All right, we'll have to look at that a little bit. Use. There is no use router. Just use routes. That's not what we're looking for. What are we actually looking for? We want to know the path name. Use resolve path. This hook resolves a path name with location in the given to value against the path name for the current location. Huh. And what are we doing with path name? We pass it to site navigation. And site navigation does what with it? It compares current path to something. Well, a few levels down, it compares it to the provided href. We may have to change some things. But for now, let's just try use resolve path. Path name equals. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Use location. Returns the current location object. Okay. Let's try that. Location equals use location. Is there a path name? Looks like there is. All right. Oh, broken. Use location may be used only in the context of a router component. And so now, let's go back to app. So layout. Okay. Huh. Okay, so let's look at create browser router. Interesting. What does this loader thing do? Oh, I see. Okay, we don't care about that. So element and children. Could we Like, I'm trying to see if there's a way we could inject the layout as part of the router, since we want to have the, like, router provider needs to wrap layout. Yeah, I bet we could do something like path slash what was the example they had here? Yeah, so element. It's not that. It's layout. Which will add an import. There we go. You don't like that. Does this work if I say children? And then we move all the stuff inside of it. How's that supposed to work? Where's this? Feature-based name routes. Array of route objects. So let's look at the docs on that. Layout routes. Looks promising. I clicked it. Splats layout routes. Oh, here it is. Omitting the path makes this route a layout route. It participates in UI nesting, but it's not adding any segments to the URL. What is outlet here? Okay. Should be used in parent route elements to render their child. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So then back in app, we get rid of layout. And if we go back to the app, refresh, I can already see the current page is highlighted. We go to diary. That's there. We're getting a full page refresh because right now we're just, each of the things that we're clicking is just a normal link. But we can swap out that behavior. All right, so then the next thing to do is to actually hook up our pages. Now here's an opportunity actually, because we had NextJS pages, but then inside of components, we also had like page level components. So what we can do is we can have our router point to our page level components. Which would be things like settings. Oops. So let's start with that. This will be good. So we're just going to say, hey, settings. From none of those things. Import settings from there. Yeah. So if we go to settings now, how broken is it? There's no data. Well, I mean, we're not running a server. We're not running a database. Any of that stuff. But I'm surprised there aren't more errors. Did we... I guess I've not even looked at the network tab since we got this set up. What should be happening is that the settings page should have some stuff on it to kick off requests. So like if we filter down to just XHR, there aren't any. Okay, cool. So that suggests that maybe the settings page, no, it was just re-exporting settings. So why is this not failing to make requests to the backend? Right at the top of the settings component, there should be a bunch of things here. And I mean, for that matter, in app, there should be something here where we are. Oh, right. That's why. Because we're unauthenticated. There we go. Yay. I wonder. Let's look at the docs here for React Router. So we have a route. What kind of things can we do here in terms of error boundary, type declaration, so path, index, children, case sensitive, action, element, handle. I guess just thinking about what we can do with unauthenticated. In fact, one of the reasons, right? One of the reasons that we ditched Next.js was because of, well, there were a few steps along the way that got us to that point. But one of the things was we were using this piece of middleware to check to see if the page that we were trying to hit was a page that was supposed to be a page that you're supposed to be logged in to hit. And then we wanted it so that, oh yeah, we don't need this import anymore. We wanted it so that if you tried to go to that page, like the page we're looking at right now, and you weren't logged in, that it would send you to log in. So theoretically, how would we do that here? Is there something here that we can use to make that happen? Provide a way for apps to provide data mutation. Yeah, I don't care about that. Loader. Loader function provide data to the wrap before it renders. Using a data router. What is a data router? Okay. If we use create browser router, that's a data router. Okay. Can we, in a loader, do something? Or is there some other thing that we should do? Okay, so params. Wrap params are parsed from dynamic segments and passed to your loader. Throwing in loaders. You can throw to break out of the current call stack. Start over down the error path. Okay. And so presumably we could have something that's handling errors that are a you need to be logged in kind of error. Is that an option? Maybe we should use this. Match path, location, generate path, defer. Huh. Okay, let's go back really quick. Let's try adding a loader. Actually, before I do that, can we put our homepage back? Oh, we probably don't. Oh, dashboard? Is it dashboard? Can we have a loader? A non-assignable disciple data function value or a promise of that. Okay. Throw new response. We don't want actually that kind of response. Let's say login required, and we'll say 403. Should be fun. Hey! Unexpected application error. But I think what we could probably do is could we, instead of throwing an error, just redirect? Yeah, hey look, just like that. May I try it on? Okay. Yeah. Of course we don't have a login page. 404 not found. Makes sense. Dashboard. Yeah, I think that is maybe a page that we did not have actually anything there. Yeah, and here's something that we have to do something different as well, right? Because we were leveraging get server-side props to get a list of users to list. I'm not really attached to that anyway. But we can put our dashboard back together. Yep. Topography. Yeah. Hard container. There we go. Can we did we set that up? No, okay. Just relative. And I think honestly, especially having multiple packages like this, it becomes much less annoying. I mean, the other thing is that I can do an import like this to even refer to something that's in this package. I don't think I really want to though. But at least for this, because there's kind of a fixed hierarchy within this package, I don't mind as much having relative imports. And then we'll have link. And right. Hey, it's this page again. Seems a little broken. Where's yeah, let me switch this back to thinking that it's not authenticated. Great. So where's our styles? Like some of the logic is there, but I guess we huh. You've tried to stringify. Object returned from CSS function. Isn't this supposed to be used directly? Rather handled by emotion. Right. So, oh yeah. There's a thing. Vite emotion. Right. Vite config. So we have, oh hey, look, here's a link. Maybe the actual official docs have a thing that say how to do the thing. Nope. What if we search? There's no emotion here. Define config, plugins, React. Okay, so one of the other things though is, okay, so Vite SWC React emotion. Let's skip to the end. Skip to the end. Branches, yada yada yada. Tried one. Ooh, is there? Nope, it's gone. We can try this though. Plugins, React, and then some options. Cannot find module. Makes sense. Client. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's instead package.json in client. We'll add not the random version that Copilot has decided to interject, but we'll actually look at the current version. I think that doesn't need to be in dependencies though. That should be in dev dependencies. And we'll npm install. All right, can we reload? cannot find module at SWC. Really? Okay, let's stop it and start it. Failed to import a bunch of things. At theme UI core JSX dev runtime. Interesting. So. Oh man, that is interesting. Okay. SOC main.tsx. Main.tsx? Are we really? I guess it's getting injected, right? Based on... Oh, yeah, not that. I see. Uses Theme UI core. Okay, so Vite, MUI, and motion. Probably that's what we want. Yay! Our styling's back. We still need to fix the fonts. There was a to-do for that, right? To-do? Whole word. Yeah, and light theme. Yeah, okay. So we'll get to it eventually. But I think that's gonna be it for today. It's an app again, sort of, almost, not really. We at least have pages. CSS stuff seems to work, which is good, because otherwise, like, if we actually had the diary connected to the router, then it would be not good looking. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Next week, more of the same. More than likely. I am thinking of some other coding topics, because this app is eventually going to be fixed again and working and deployed on the internet and all that stuff. So maybe some Minecraft mod dev might be a thing. But yeah, that'll be some other time. So thanks for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.